Now all of a sudden, because you expected Golovkin to come forward and you expected Canelo to go backwards, now you saw the opposite, and it's like, well, you know what? And, Canelo had to have won. No, he didn't win. Watch the fight, bro. It's still boxing. It's not called come forward. It's not called Mexican style. It's not called bang it out. It's not called knockout. It's called boxing. So when it comes to boxing, Golovkin won the fight. His back was never to the ropes at all. So this whole backing him up thing, it's a bit taken out, a bit exaggerated, because if he got backed up that bait, his back would have been to the ropes.
Blessed love and blessings up. This is Real Life Boxing. Paulie the Magic Man Malignaggi says that Triple G was robbed against Canelo Saul Alvarez. Real Life Boxing, we're going to debate that in a few minutes. Before we get into that, smash the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. It's Real Life Boxing. Hey. Yeah, we grew up listening to this song, watching the movie. Y'all know y'all remember that. But let's debate this real quick. Paulie says that Triple G outboxed Canelo and that he won. So let me just explain to y'all real quick why Pauline Malignaggi will feel this way. And for y'all that don't know who Pauline Malignaggi is, Paulie was a great boxer. Even up to a couple years ago. He's retired now. You know what I mean? I think he lost like most of his fights coming down the stretch. But Paulie himself was a great boxer. You know what I mean? Paulie was smaller. He fought at 140, and he fought a few times at 147 also. But Paulie's a small guy. You know what I mean? Didn't have much punching power. He could punch. Didn't have much punching power. But he fought. The way he fought really defensive, like defense first, you know what I mean? Kind of like Floyd, but was more shiftier. So Paulie always fought off of his back foot, you know what I mean? But Paulie was a great fighter, and this is not a diss, you know what I mean, to Paulie. We're just gonna debate because I like Paulie, and Paulie was one of my best fighters, you know what I mean, on some real shit. I like Paulie Malignaggi, but Paulie Malignaggi, he's a great voice for boxing, great voice to have in boxing because, he talks his mind. And I put the link to this interview in the description. You know what I mean? Paulie's always been the type of dude, like, he just says what's on his mind, even when he was fighting. He's just a real dude, and he just talks what's on his mind. But I'm gonna debate him, and I feel like, the reason why Paulie would feel like Triple G won the fight is because Paulie spent most of his career fighting off of his back foot, you know what I mean? Boxing off of his back foot, and at times, boxing, to be saving his life, to not get knocked out, because Paulie wasn't really a strong dude, physically strong, didn't have like, a lot of muscles like some of the other fighters, but Paulie could scrap though, you know what I mean? He's a fighter, but he's always fighting bigger, stronger fighters, so always, fighting off the back foot. So he would feel like Triple G won this fight, you know what I mean? Because Triple G had to be fighting off his back foot. But he didn't outbox Canelo, because boxing doesn't mean just going backwards and outscoring the person with jabs. You know what I mean? And I think people get this, confused, like boxing, you just going backwards. No, you can box the shit out of someone coming forward also. You know what I mean? Just boxing. And let's not forget, the name of the game, boxing is, the name of the game is to hit and not get hit. You know what I mean? So he wasn't outboxing Canelo because he was getting hit more than Canelo was getting hit. In the story, his face tells the story. You know what I mean? And again, if you watch my video, you know what I mean, my post-fight thoughts that I just did, I said, yes, he was busting the jab. He's busting the jab, busting the jab, busting the jab. But just busting the jab is not going to win you a fight. He did not control, some people said, oh, he controlled the distance. No, he didn't. He did not control the distance. He was busting his jab, but he didn't control the distance. He didn't control the pace of the fight. You know what I mean? And he was constantly going backwards. And just because his back was never on the ropes, that doesn't mean that he wasn't getting pressured. That just means that he never put his back to the ropes. You know what I mean? But he's going backwards all night. Not because he wanted to, because Canelo was forcing him to go backwards. If he wanted to come forward, then he would have stood his ground, threw punches and made Canelo back up, but he never did that. And like I said, even when he did hurt Canelo, Canelo never backed up, not once. So I think that Paulie's wrong, you know what I mean? And you know, Paulie is right a lot of times, but I think this time he's wrong, because boxing, just because you're landing your jab and you're going backwards, that doesn't mean that you're outboxing him. If the dude is hitting you with, like, you know, 30%, 40% of his power punches, then you're not outboxing him. You know what I mean? Like, to be outboxing someone means to be hitting them and not getting hit as much, really. And you're moving around, you're doing your thing, you're boxing. You don't have to be going. Boxing doesn't mean he's coming forward and I'm just going backwards. Like, that's just because you're going backwards, like, doesn't mean you're boxing. And yes, Triple G is popping his jab, but that doesn't mean. And like I said, he did do a good job of boxing. You know what I mean? But he didn't outbox Canelo. Like, not even close. He did not outbox him. You know what I mean? Because if he would have outboxed him, he would have won the fight, and his face wouldn't look like that. I thought that Canelo outboxed Triple G in the first fight. You know what I mean? And the difference is that the difference with this fight in this fight and the first fight, it was a reverse in character, but Triple G was not forcing Canelo to go back in the first fight. Canelo was just boxing, going backwards, and then he gassed out, so he started to lean on the rope a little bit. You know what I mean? But Triple G wasn't forcing him, you know what I mean, to go backwards. In this fight, Canelo, and I think that Canelo did a better job of boxing in the first fight than Triple G did this fight. You know what I mean? Like, Canelo didn't get hit as much. Like, that's boxing. You know what I mean? He was hitting and not getting hit as much. You know what I'm saying? This time he didn't box Triple G, and I felt like he could have made the easier fight, just like I said in my post-fight thoughts. I feel like Canelo could have made the fight an easier fight if he would have boxed, you know what I'm saying, Triple G, but he didn't box. He forced Triple G to go backwards and just resort to throwing his jab. And like I said, Triple G started to throw some power punches when I really felt like, you know, his back was on the line. Like I said, certain times in the fight, he's fighting to stay alive. Like, he's fighting literally not to get knocked out. Like, he's not fighting to win. He's fighting to not get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight. So I think that Paulie's wrong. He didn't outbox Canelo, not even close to outboxing him, because if to be outboxing someone means that you're hitting them with more jabs and more power punches, the whole variety, and they're not hitting you, you know what I mean, as much, and you're moving around boxing doing it. Like, that's boxing. Like, that's outboxing someone. Like, not going backwards, hitting them with their jab when they're still fucking clocking you with all types of power punches. Y'all gotta look at Triple G's face again. I'm not gonna put it in this video, I don't think, but just look at his face. His head is bleeding. The side of his head has cuts on it. His both eyes, the one eye is like fucking green. Like, underneath it is like black and green. The cut, yeah, Canelo had a nice cut on his eye, but Gennady Golovkin's cut is deeper. It was smaller in size, but it was deeper than Canelo's, and you can look at it and tell. You know what I mean? Canelo's looked like it just opened up, like right on the top layer. You know what I mean? It opened up, had a nice little it has some nice, you know what I mean, nice size to it, but Gennady's cut was deeper and his eyes were more swollen. His whole face is just completely fucked up. Like, you like the I mean, nah. You know what I mean? But, you know, shout out to Paulie. I always respect, you know what I mean, his thoughts, you know what I mean? But real life boxing, we debating him on this one, you know what I mean? So shout out to all of y'all that's been subscribing. Page has been lit, you know what I mean? I was up to like 500 subscribers, so I think someone unsubscribed though, because it's like $4.99 now. But I've been getting a lot of subscribers from that feed. So thank you everyone who's watching the videos, and you guys like, comment, you know what I mean? Even if you don't like the video, comment, you know what I'm saying? Leave a comment, a respectable comment. We can debate it in the comments, you know what I'm saying? It's all love. Like, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, leave a comment, you know what I mean? We need some feed forward, you know what I'm saying? That's how you guys are paying us for this type of work, because it's not easy making these videos, you know what I mean? And you got to be on time to stay up with some of the bigger channels, you know what I mean? But shout out to everyone who's been subscribing. If you're not subscribed and you're still listening to this video at this point, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified when all new content is uploaded. You feel me? It's real life boxing. Peace and one love, you know what I mean, to the whole world. Not just the boxing world, the whole world. You know what I mean? Have a blessed night. We out of here.